One of the top questions I get is, do you have to sell DBA? And the answer is no. Okay. First of all, understand my marketing has my name and face all over it, first and last name. So I'm not partnering with No Dookie. I'm not partnering with garbage. Okay. If I'm going to put my name and face on it, which is my brand, hold on now. Wait a minute. Let's get some understanding here. Tamira Hamilton is the brand. Tamira Hamilton created the brand Haute Chocolat, which is a beauty and lifestyle brand. Okay. Tamira Hamilton is the brand. Tamira Hamilton is the content. Tamira Hamilton is the algorithm. Tamira Hamilton is the niche. So with that said, nobody is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, but I'm gonna use my discernment, and I'm gonna use the tools and resources I have to make a judgment about whether or not to promote something that I did not create. Right? We all know that. In my inbox on the daily are offers for content creation, for UGC, for even just speaking on podcasts, right? Summits. I do not say yes to everything. I say no to more than I say yes to. I am my mama's child. I am very picky and discerning. Okay. So yes, DBA is not perfect. Nothing is. Nothing I've created is perfect. God created perfection when he created me, though. No, I'm just playing. Okay. So if I'm gonna put my name on it, the learning is there. This is not just about earning, because some people, y'all get really weird about the fact that people can resell it. I know why. I'm not gonna go there though. I'm gonna keep it positive. I love the fact that people can resell it, because what I find is that the people who buy it understand that all they have to do is make one sale and they made their money back. Okay. You also have the ability to multiply your investment, because you can sell the course itself. You can, put your stamp on, your branding on the done for you products. You can learn high income in demand skills like branding, like video editing, like email marketing, all from inside of DBA, right? There are email marketing templates in there where you can basically go to local small businesses and offer to help them with their email marketing, and you've got the templates. You don't even have to be a professional copywriter like I am. The possibilities are endless. They're not guaranteed. It's all potential. It's all based on your network. It's all based on your influence. It's all based on your time, talent, and what you put into it, how often you show up and what you're willing to do, right? It's all based on regulatory compliance and all these other things. But more often than not, it works out very well for a lot of people. I mean, think about it. At only $133, you're back in the black, right? And people will be like, oh my God, it took me 4 weeks, 5 days, and 2 hours. I don't know another business that you can start and create, make your money back, and be back in the black in 2 weeks, 4 days, and 2 hours, or whatever it was, right? That's like unheard of. And the thing is, this is not packaged to be some little hustle thing where you just go out and you hustle people for money. No, this is meant to be something that can potentially change people's lives and situations, and has. I've heard stories of like my guy, Rich Thames. Oh my God, I just love him. He's like a little brother, right? I'm not saying that we have that type of relationship, but when I watch him, that's what I feel like I'm watching my little brother, right? He's such a nice guy. And he's very transparent about where he's been. I know he has a military background. I know he has some direct sales and network marketing experience. And unfortunately, that company went under, closed for whatever reason. And he lost a sizable chunk of income. So he was Ubering. and being the special person that he is. And when I say special, I smile. So, I'm not being like shady, McShady, right? He is truly a special person. He is a blessing to everyone who comes in his presence. I'm telling you from what I've seen online, right? Even in Ubering, he did everything he could to be competitive and get the ratings and be a top Uber driver, right? Like Martin Luther King says, I don't care if you're a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper there ever is. That's Rich. No matter what he does, you can tell he's going to be the best at what he can do. He's going to give it the best that he has to give it, right? And so he was Ubering. He's got 2 or 3 kids. He either has shared custody or he's a sole custodian. One of his kids, he's an autism dad. And so he was Ubering to take care of his family. And now he's made tens of thousands of dollars with not just DBA, but also with some other digital products in the last 6-8 months. And other opportunities are finding him. Right? There's another girl that I follow. She primarily sells DBA and BPU, which is Business Pro University. She went through a bad breakup. So she does a lot of her content around relationships and ditch that man who's dead weight and get with the digital products and level your life up. And that's what she's done. She bought a brand new car. She too was Ubering and Door Dashing and I think Instacarting, that gig economy stuff. And she's been able to change her life. She's taking the money, the tens of thousands of dollars, because I think she's made like $30,000-$40,000 in just over the summer. She's taking that money and she's investing in salon suites. She's going to multiply her money. She's also the top seller of BPU, Business Pro University, which, by the way, what I would do if I were you, I would grab DBA volume 1 and 2 for $133 while I'm on live, and I would add on BPU. You can put both on Klarna under 4 payments because BPU is going to teach you how to sell digital products. It's a sales mastery course. And again, if I bring it into my system and I'm offering it, I've gone through the content. I've vetted the creator. It's good stuff. He comes from a corporate background. I don't agree with him on everything outside of BPU. And that's not a bad thing. 2 people shouldn't always agree, right? But the core, the tenets, the basics, we agree on. Lock sync, right? We both have very strong corporate sales experience and coaching, mentoring, and leading experience. Even down to the build a note thing. I was like, I'm not seeing a lot of people do that. I've learned it from other people. But to me, as someone with 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, I know that when someone can start a presentation, they say, hey, show up. I'm going to teach you this. And they haven't prepared anything beforehand. And they can pull out a blank, back in the olden days, the late 1900s, the easel with the big pad of like posted stick it paper, but it's huge. What do they call that? Like an easel and board or whatever. And they can get the writing on there or virtually like a Google Doc. I know they know their stuff. I know that person knows their stuff. They're not repeating what they heard from nobody else and maybe memorized. I know that person knows their stuff. I know that because I can do it. I know they know their stuff. And not only do they know it, they have wisdom behind it because they've run the plays enough, not only for themselves, but for others. Okay. For and with others. And that's what I love about BPU. BPU is definitely much more structured as a course, where DBA is a program with the content vault. Again, DBA volume 1 and 2 is worth it just for the content vault with over 50,000 pieces of done for you content. Hello. 43,000 of it is reels. video that you can use. Now, I would suggest getting really creative and, making like reels, montages, and doing some things like that instead of just taking one reel and throwing some words up on it, because the platforms are really looking at original content these days. But you want to definitely make sure that you are making it as original as possible. So over 50,000 done for you pieces of content inside of there. It just doesn't get any better than that. All that for only $133 while I'm live. And you can break it up into 4 payments. But BPU, like, I'll tell you this. I have bought PLR and MRR, which is private label rights, MRR's master resale rights, which basically are all DFY, done for you products, right? Since 2014. Okay. First of all, this is a whole different level of PLR and MRR because people are actually putting their faces on this stuff and their names. Okay. That old stuff was like you hire a VA from like India or the Philippines or somewhere. They don't necessarily even have the best English, and it's just very basic stuff, right? But I would buy them and use the guts of like their PDF to supplement my stuff, right? Or use that's primarily what I would use it for, right? Some people would use it as the template and then overwrite it and add and subtract to it, right? Well, you still can do that. You can't do that with DBA, but you can do that with the done for you product that is inside of there. So if you're judging this, you're like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with PLR, MRR. This ain't that PLR or MRR. It's just not. This is a whole different level. This is a whole different ball game, right? But that's the great thing about it is that you can take it. You can take something completely, take a done for you product that is completely unrelated to your niche, your product, your service offering, and you can just use it as a template and write over it. Again, that's for the people who know their stuff inside and out, for the true authority, right? My influence is drawn, it pulls from my authority and not just my commanding voice and presence, right? I'm not speaking authority just like that. I mean, from the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience. Think about all the stories I've told just in the hour and 15 minutes we've been live here. Think about the stories that I've told, drawing from my experience, both personally, professionally, as well as with my clients and the businesses that I've built, my corporate background, which spans over 20 years, nearly 25 years of corporate experience. That's why I have this look. I don't look like, they not like us. I'm not, I know I'm different. Number one, I'm older than a lot of the people that you see on different apps. I get it. I know my lane. And I'll stay in it. I drive the car that I drive in my lane. Okay. I know that I'm a little older. And even though I know some of y'all are shocked when you find out my age, that I have grown children and grandbabies. But I also know that what is a strength can also be seen as a weakness in some settings too. Right. But the one thing that I do know for sure, when the question comes up, what do you bring to the table, baby? I am the table. Because I am an authority. That's why you can look me up on iTunes. That's why you can look me up on Spotify. That's why you can Google me. Okay? Because I've been around the world and I. No, I cannot sing. That is not my spiritual gift, singing. Right? But I know a thing or two about marketing, sales, and leadership. I can write books on it. But I'd rather make video and turn those videos into courses. So that's what I do. Right? As legend will have it, I will come up with my outline with my syllabus. And then from my syllabus, I will go and create a Google Doc. Because why am I going to invest in? See, I've seen people make this mistake. Invest $20,000 before they know if they have a viable product. Invest $20,000 in copywriter, in software, and this and that. And so by the time they sell their course, number one, if they sell it, if they break even, right? Why do that? I come from the school of thought that you put out your minimal viable product. Your minimal viable product. In fact, I will tell you that you will lose a certain part of your audience when you go from minimal viable product to higher production quality, because it just won't feel as real and raw to them. I'm just be honest with you. When it starts to feel like you've sold out and you've gone corporate on them, a portion of your audience is going to leave. I'm the underdog, so I love still putting out that raw stuff. Because number one, it comes from joy, ease, and flow. And two, it's just what I do. It's what I do. It's what I do well. Okay. So DBA is only $133 for volumes 1 and 2. You've got about 15 more minutes to enjoy that special while I'm on live. I just completely unraveled this. Okay. So you've got about 15 minutes to continue to enjoy that. Not sure when I'll be back on live this weekend, so I would grab it now. DBA is a fantastical product, program. One of the things I love best about DBA is the community. The community, right? We show up for each other on each other's lives. We support each other. There are people that I would have never known if not for DBA. And can we just talk about that? So many of my customers, especially in my beauty business, I would have never done business with. I would have never known them. They would have never known I existed if not for doing business online, right? I have had the luxury, the privilege of waking up to new customers in my business that I've never spoken to from all around the world for several years now. And I have a beauty business right now that still pays me that I do not actively promote those products. And if you want to learn how, I would suggest that you grab DBA volume 1 and 2 for only $133 while I'm live. And you can break it down into 4 payments. So you could literally, for about the price of a movie these days, a movie and, snacks for one, get started and start learning so that you can earn. How fast it takes you to earn is going to be dependent on where you are, what you bring, right? What skills, talent, your learning curve. Some people have different learning curves, your network, the strength of your network, community, and audience, right? Your time, your talent, so on and so forth, right? 2 people can start on the same day and have drastically different results. And that is okay, right? Just like we have 2 different sets of fingerprints. That is okay. Okay. But, you got to know what's working. And I've shared that with you. Okay. What's working is showing up and doing the work. You got to show up and you got to post. If you're not showing up, if you're not posting, you're going to struggle. If you are a professional student, as I call it, right? You got to learn what's in the program, what's in the course, and then you got to go apply it. Information plus application equals transformation. You have to apply it. As Matt teaches in Business Pro University, he calls it learn, activate, dominate. Information plus application equals transformation. And some of y'all want to sit and you want to go through every single module and you want to learn everything inside of every single module. And that's just not what you need to do. Right? Someone like me with 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, I was able to make my first sale within like 24, 48 hours. Number one, because I had the community, I had the network, I had the audience to be able to do that. Right? I didn't need to go through every last single module from the rooter to the tutor to figure it out and to learn it. I was going through for a validation process to make sure that this was something I wanted to put my name and face on, to make sure that they weren't, talking crazy that wasn't just making stuff up, because people do that. You would be amazed. People will do that, right? Okay, so showing up and doing the work is working. Omnipresence, having your pair and a spare. Your pair cannot be owned by the same entity. Email marketing and direct messaging. That one-on-one conversation is working, right? Y'all look at people who go on live and 5-10 people might buy DBA while they are live. You probably need to stop watching those lives. First of all, you probably need to stop watching those lives. And I'm not being a hater, but you got to understand, the only reason I'm suggesting that maybe you need to stop watching them is compare-itis. You got to stop with the compare-itis. You got to stop comparing yourself. You got to understand your walk and where you are in your own journey before you start comparing your journey to someone else's. Okay? So you can't look at where someone else is in their journey. And I've got the longest time in, and you still don't necessarily see that 5-6 people buy while I'm live. Mainly because my primary and core audience is at work during the day. So they're not buying during the day. They go home after work or on their break and they buy, or they buy on the weekend or at night while I'm asleep. Same with my email list, because the people who find me on social end up on my email list. They are working during the day. So they will buy overnight. That's where my orders in my sleep come from, because I like to target my ideal client is people who have money, and people who have money typically work or they have income from somewhere. They are typically doing, back when I was in banking, the whole thing about calling people who had a mortgage to get them in, you were leaving them messages during the day because they were typically at work to be able to pay for the mortgage. Right? And so my ideal client is typically at work during the day. Now, they might be able to throw me on and listen to me live, or even recorded video while they're working and have me on in the background or in headphones, but they're still working. Their ability to purchase is going to be at night. And that is why I will send emails at 10, 11 o'clock. Will someone sometimes unsubscribe because of that? They weren't my ideal client. Okay. So we talked about showing up, doing the work, omnipresence, email marketing, and messaging. Live streaming works. Okay. I showed y'all that when we went through Share the Wins. There were 4 or 5 Share the Wins that were shared that talked about live streaming is where they got their sales from. Live streaming. Okay. I don't know if you've been watching, how long you've been watching this, but don't judge me based on that, because I just told you my ideal client is at work right now. That's why they're not buying while I'm live. Now, it will happen when I'm live at night. It's definitely happened while I'm live at night. Right? But right now we're going live during the day. Okay. So live streaming works. You got to know the rules of the platform, what you can and cannot and should not do. And sometimes, yes, those rules are not written. So the best bet is to do what is in the live script, which is also, you know where to go find it if you want it. And I think that, I don't know if that's still on sale for $45 or not. Okay. And it's going to grow your community and your audience the fastest. And it's going to, I recommend streaming to platforms natively, because it's going to give you SEO and audience growth juice. It's going to push you out to more. And then, because once it's done streaming, especially on a platform like YouTube, people can search for it. And not even just search for your video, they can search for certain terms. So you need to go back and optimize it on YouTube, for example, the video title, the description, the tags, and so forth, so that it will show up in search, right? You've heard me say video is residual. Video is residual. When I was partnered with a certain company, there were videos that I recorded in 2015 that were still helping me grow my team in 2018. Even after I no longer was partnered with that company, people were still reaching out to me to join my team. And then the lucky people that I liked, I sent them to them. Okay. And offline networking works. Build your network offline. But the key is to get them on your email list, right? The key is to get them on your email list. My email list close more of those offline networkers that if I don't close them in person, because here's what happens with some of your offline networking, right? They're sold about 98% of the way, but for whatever reason, they're still hemming and hawing and that, right? And one of the things I've been doing this summer is flash sales. Not where I'm discounting my price though on my courses and that, but where I might throw in something value added. Like the latest copy of Pen Profits Mastery, I gave a 30-minute one-on-one strategy session only to the next 3 people and only valid through Sunday. And so someone who I followed up with in Messenger yesterday and told me they've got it on their list for October, decided to purchase the minute they read that email because, in her words, let me pull it up. What did she say? I'm going to pull it up and tell you her exact words. She said, "You had me with the email about including the strategy session. That's exactly what I wanted and didn't know it. But you sure did, smiley face. When can we schedule? I like to schedule those once you've gone through mods 1 through 2 and filled in the workbooks for those mods." Right? So you see how I've structured my value add so that, yes, I'm going to give you some of my time, but I'm not going to shortcut and underprice and make the people who paid $397, $297 for a 90-minute strategy, $497 for a 90-minute strategy session with me by giving you that for free. I'm going to give you 30 minutes. And I'm going to give you some requirements to be able to get that 90-minute session, that 30-minute session. You got to watch module 1 through 2, and you got to fill out the workbook. And you bring those to the session. Okay. And then I've also been known to say, you've got to get through module 1 and 2 in 30 days. The free 30-minute session is only good for the next 30 days. So you got to, and this is a strategy for making people do the work and not just buy the course and want to bypass the course and just get to meet with you for 30 minutes, right? Because even if I allowed her to do that, think about it. Pen Profits Mastery is $555. So if she wanted to bypass the course and just get to the strategy session with me, she paid me $555 for it. That's why I tell you, I promise you, digital marketing is a highly paid, in-demand skill set. I have come to the understanding, if not conclusion, that the number one thing people want from me, 2 things. They want my brain and they want my time. And that is why it is $497 to pick my brain. My number one income producing asset is the way that I think. The number one transformation that I provide is not in how I got from A to B, but teaching you to think like I do, not like I do, but teaching you how to think. When I say think like I do, I mean strategically, not think exactly like me. How to learn how to think strategically to achieve and manifest what it is that you want. That is ultimately what I am in the business of. Because there are a lot of people out there who can read books, attend webinars, and write down notes and repeat word for word what they learned. And then there are people who eat it up because they want to get it for free, but not understanding that there's no wisdom behind it. There's no juice. There's no experience. There's no gut instinct behind it. There are things that I do, what I call rotely, R-O-T-E, like rote memorization. There are things that I just do instinctively, is even a better word. I can't explain it to you why I do it, but it comes from the wisdom of having run the play enough amount of times to be able to predict that if I do this, it's going to lead to that. And many of you already have that and you know it, you don't trust it. So that again is one of the things that people can expect when they work with me, is to learn how to trust themselves and that they know what to do. Most of the questions that I am asked in a coaching session are answered with another question. What do you think? What would you do? Why do you say that? Right? We're going to dig deeper to help you understand and learn how to think. You know, I posted on Facebook the other day. The number one reason that most businesses fail is truly cash flow. I didn't say that, but it's truly cash flow, right? But the reason that businesses don't have cash flow is because the business owner refuses to think like a business, meaning they refuse to think strategically and make moves strategically. They want to be a good neighbor. They want to be a good friend. They want to be seen as a good human being, a good whatever. And you can and still should want to be all of those things, but you also still have to learn to think and behave, make decisions, act strategically. You have to. It is not my job to give you the strategy unless you book me for a strategy, for me to create the strategy for you. But at the end of the day, it is still ultimately on you. Because see, a lot of people, again, they want a coach, they want a boss, so that when things don't work out, they got somebody to blame. Remember, I said sales, marketing, and leadership. I've been around the block quite a few times, and I've been leading people. I'm 50. I've been leading people probably about 44 years, if not longer. Yes, I'm talking about from the age of 6, because I'm the oldest daughter, I'm the oldest grandchild, I'm the oldest niece. So if you know, you know. I've been a leader my entire life. I've been leading. So I know a thing or two about leading. I'll even call my daughter out. Stop throwing my grandkids under the bus and own that. Take accountability. My grandson will do it too. Okay. So DBA volume 1 and 2, $133. You can resell it. You can resell it. And there's thousands of dollars worth of done for you products inside of there that you can rebrand. You can use as a template. You can take pieces of it and create and make your own. Hello there, how are you? We're actually getting ready to wrap up. But never in history, right? I mean, and think about the holidays. Go to my blog. On my blog right now, I've put out 2 or 3 new posts in the last week or two. Okay, and one of them talks about how Amazon, and they announced this right before the holiday season. Think about it, like we were talking about earlier. They didn't wait until the Monday before Thanksgiving. They didn't wait till Cyber Monday to announce that they are going to allow you to be able to make purchases right from within inside of TikTok and Pinterest without leaving those apps. That alone, again, is a reason to grab DBA Volume 1 and 2 for only $133 while I'm live. Pinterest affiliate marketing. Pinterest is positioning. I told y'all, if you had Pin Profits Mastery, you would know that. You would know that Pinterest is positioning itself as a shopping app. And so is TikTok. Right? But all this jazz everybody been talking about, oh, they don't like when you say the Zon and all that. I a lot of people just take guesses at stuff. They take guesses, they shoot in the dark, and they literally just make up stuff to create the narrative to get you to buy from them. And that's one thing I'm never going to do. I probably, serve less people and make less money because of that. But I also look at it as that as a blessing in disguise, because I'm not working with a bunch of headaches either. Because to me, that's what that draws in, is headaches. Okay. So I'm going to get ready to wrap up here and get ready to call it a day. So last call for what questions do you have? I know y'all always say we tend to overstand. Y'all tend to tell me that you overstand by the time I'm finished. I get that. I understand that you might be in a state of overstanding, but ask your questions now before I get ready to get off of here because my stomach is grumbling. It's time to go get some lunch. And I've been on here so long that I've let my spot that I like to go get my Mediterranean chicken from is now closed for the day. They don't sell dinner, so I got to figure out something else. What am I going to eat today? So, all right. Well, that is it. I might come back on later today. I'm not sure because I'm really hot on this $133 for DBA. The only way to get it at $133 is while I'm on live and through email. So if you're on my email list, make sure that you watch out for my emails this weekend in order to be able to get it for $133. That's the only way you can get DBA for $133 is email, direct messenger from me, or while I'm on live, because I'm about to take that price right back up right now. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go change that price. So if you want it, you better run over there and already be in the cart and checking out. Okay. I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.